The minute hand on the vintage wall clock inches toward another quarter hour as I check my watch for the 100th time. 25 minutes late. The ceremony should have started 25 minutes ago. Through the window of my bridal suite, rows of white chairs stretch across the vineyard lawn like piano keys. October sunlight sparkles off crystal glasses arranged on reception tables, and white roses climb the arch where Mark waits. Where I should be standing right now, becoming his wife. Claire? Sarah, our wedding coordinator, peers around the door. Her professional smile wavers at the edges. Should we, perhaps? Just 5 more minutes. My voice comes out steady, but my hands tremble as I check my phone again. No missed calls, no text messages, no explanations. The lace sleeve of my wedding dress catches on my engagement ring as I scroll through my contacts. Mom, Dad. Their numbers stare back at me, unused since the rehearsal dinner last night when everything seemed fine, better than fine. Mom had actually hugged me, told me I looked beautiful. Dad had cleared his throat in that gruff way that means he's holding back tears. A gentle knock breaks through my spiral. Claire? Mark's voice carries through the door, warm and worried. Can I come in? You're not supposed to see me before, the words catch in my throat. Pretty sure we're past that superstition now, sweetheart. I smooth my dress, an automatic gesture Mom drilled into me since childhood. Always be presentable. Never let them see you rattled. Come in. Mark steps inside, handsome in his tuxedo, his face etched with concern. I try to smile, to be the composed bride, but something in his gentle expression makes my careful walls crack. They're not coming, are they? Lily just called your Aunt Patricia. Jenny, my maid of honor since 7th grade, touches my arm. Her voice drops to a whisper. Your parents are at Amanda's birthday brunch in Palm Springs. The words don't make sense at first. They're a puzzle with missing pieces, a story with pages torn out. Then understanding hits like a physical blow, and I find myself staring at my reflection in the full-length mirror. I see a 10-year-old girl proudly clutching her straight-A report card while Mom and Dad fuss over Amanda's soccer trophy. Second place is wonderful, sweetheart. Claire, put that paper on the fridge if you want. I see myself at 16, stirring spaghetti sauce as headlights sweep across the kitchen window. Amanda sauntering in 2 hours past curfew, Mom asking if she's hungry, Dad chuckling about teenagers being teenagers. No questions, no consequences. I see myself at 19, suitcase handle cold in my grip. Amanda never gave us this much trouble. Mom sighs, not even looking up from her magazine. I just don't understand why you can't be more like your sister. The memory blurs as a tear slides down my cheek. I catch it before it can fall on white satin, the motion as automatic as all my careful strategies for staying perfect, staying worthy, staying what they want me to be. Mark's hand settles warm on my shoulder. In the mirror, I see him standing behind me, solid and steady as the ground beneath my feet. It's your call, Claire. We can wait longer if you want. His words unlock something in my chest. A truth I've spent 28 years trying not to see, trying to fix, trying to earn my way around. They're not coming. They were never going to come. No matter what I do, what I achieve, what I sacrifice, I will never be Amanda, and that's all they've ever wanted me to be. I straighten my spine, 1 tear. They get 1 tear and not a single one more. I reach up and adjust my veil with steady fingers. No, I say, and my voice rings clear as chapel bells. They've made their choice, I'm making mine. Another knock, Sarah again. Claire, the musicians are asking. Tell them to start the processional. I meet my reflection's eyes. They're clearer now, stronger. I'm not letting them ruin today. Mark squeezes my shoulder. You sure? I think of the empty chairs in the front row, saved for parents who chose a birthday brunch over their daughter's wedding. Parents who couldn't give me this one day, who couldn't pretend, even for an hour, that I mattered as much as Amanda. I'm sure. I smooth my dress one final time, not for Mom's approval now, but for myself. Some chairs speak louder than words. and I'm done pretending I can't hear what they're saying. I take Mark's arm, letting his strength steady me. Through the window, I see our guests shifting in their seats, murmuring in confusion about the delay. But they came. All these people chose to be here, chose to support us, chose to make this day matter. "Ready?" Mark asks. I squeeze his arm. I've never been more ready in my life. The door opens onto the rest of my life. A life where I choose who sits in the front row. A life where love doesn't come with conditions and price tags. A life that's finally, completely, mine. Let's go get married. The band plays at last as Mark twirls me across the dance floor. His parents beam from their table, and for a moment everything feels perfect. Then the phones start buzzing. Not just one phone. A wave of notifications ripples through the reception tables like autumn leaves skittering across pavement. I catch Jenny's expression first, her face draining of color as she stares at her screen. She looks up, meets my eyes, and quickly glances away. "Sweetheart?" Mark's hand tightens on my waist. "What's wrong?" I don't know, but I do. Deep in my bones, I know. My own phone vibrates in the hidden pocket of my wedding dress. 3 rapid pulses against my hip, then silence. Another pulse. I keep dancing, Mark's steady presence anchoring me to this moment, to this dance that's supposed to be perfect. The song ends. Mark's father approaches, his weathered face tight with concern. He holds out his phone like he's offering up evidence at a trial. "Claire, honey, you don't need to look at this right now." But I do look. The photo fills his screen. My parents beaming at an outdoor brunch table decorated with pink balloons and mimosa glasses. Amanda sits between them in a flowery sundress, her perfectly manicured hand raised in a toast. Palm trees sway in the background. The timestamp burns into my vision. 2:47 p.m., exactly when I was walking down the aisle, alone. I need some air. The words come out steady, calm, like I'm declining a dessert instead of watching my world splinter. Mark's father squeezes my shoulder. "You've got family right here, kiddo. We've known you 5 years, they've had 28, and still don't see what's right in front of them." His words unlock a memory I've spent years trying to bury. Me at 22, rushing through hospital corridors with my heart in my throat. The call had come after 3 years of silence. Dad had collapsed at work. Possible heart attack. I remember bursting into the waiting room, almost colliding with Amanda. Her perfect makeup, her irritated sigh. "Oh, you actually came." Dad had been fine, just severe dehydration and exhaustion. When I visited his room, his eyes had welled up. Real tears, I'd thought at the time. Now I wonder if they were just another performance. "Claire?" He'd gripped my hand. "We're in trouble, sweetheart. The medical bills, the mortgage." I wrote the first check that night, $16,000 over 8 months while I was saving for this wedding. Every time I handed over money, they'd defend me when Amanda made her snide remarks. Every time I paid another bill, Mom would actually listen when I talked. For a while, I thought I'd finally cracked the code, found the price tag for their love. Remember when Amanda said I was rushing to beat her to something? I smoothed my dress, a nervous habit Mom drilled into me. That was right after they cashed my last check. Mark's jaw tightens. He knows what comes next. We'd been stuffing wedding invitations when Mom called. "We'll try our best to make it, dear. You know how busy things get." Busy. Like Amanda's birthday brunch wasn't planned months ago. Like they hadn't RSVP'd yes to both events, knowing exactly what they were doing. A protective circle forms around us, Mark's parents, Jenny, friends who've watched this pattern play out for years. They create a barrier between me and the curious whispers, the pitying glances. Their love wraps around me like a bulletproof vest, absorbing impact after impact. "The flowers are beautiful," Jenny says, squeezing my hand. "The ceremony was perfect. The wine is amazing. They're the ones missing out, not you." She's right. The reception sparkles under market lights. Laughter bubbles up from the tables. Love flows as freely as the wine. But there's a hollow space in my chest where acceptance should live. Later that night, I sit on the hotel bed still in my wedding dress, staring at my phone. Mom's contact photo glows on the screen, a Christmas snapshot from before Amanda learned she could do no wrong. My finger hovers over the keyboard. The message takes shape, each word a stone I've carried for years finally set down. You made your choice today, and now I'm making mine. The response is instant, Mom's face filling my screen for an incoming call. No text, no apology, just the expectation that I'll answer, explain myself, smooth things over. Make their choices okay, like always. I silence the phone and turn to Mark. They still don't understand what they've done. He pulls me close, careful of my dress. No, they don't, but I understand exactly what I've got. Outside our window, the vineyard stretches into darkness, rows of vines like patient sentries. Stars speckle the sky, each one a pinprick of light in the vast black. I think about family loyalty, about the weight of expectations versus the warmth of real love, about what we owe the people who created us and what we owe ourselves. The debt has never been mine to pay. It's taken a wedding day betrayal to show me that truth. I curl into Mark's side, letting the last tears fall. Tomorrow, we'll face whatever comes next. Tonight, I'm exactly where I belong, wrapped in the arms of someone who shows up, who stays, who loves without a price tag attached. For the first time in 28 years, that feels like enough. 3 weeks later, thank you cards scatter across my kitchen table like autumn leaves. Each pristine white envelope represents someone who chose to witness our wedding day, to celebrate our love. My hand cramps from writing personal messages, but I welcome the discomfort. It keeps me focused, keeps me from checking my phone, even though it hasn't buzzed in a week. The doorbell shatters my concentration. Not a gentle press, a prolonged ring that makes my shoulders tighten. I already know who it is before I open the door. Mom stands in the hallway, her pearl necklace gleaming against her coral blouse, the same blouse she wore to Amanda's birthday brunch. Her lips quiver with what anyone else might mistake for emotion, but I recognize the theatrical tremble from countless childhood moments. How could you tear this family apart over something so petty? The words burst from her before I can even step back to let her in. I hold the door open wider, my bare feet cold against the hardwood floor. Come in if you want to have an actual conversation. She sweeps past me, designer purse clutched to her chest like armor. Her perfumey same scent she's worn since I was little fills the entryway. The familiar rose and jasmine notes that once meant comfort now make my throat tight. Amanda is heartbroken. Mom paces my living room, her heels clicking against the floor. She can't sleep, can't eat. Your behavior has affected everyone, and over what? A party? The word hits like a slap. A party? It was just a wedding, Claire. Your sister only turns 30 once. My hands still on the back of my couch, gripping the fabric. The familiar fog of invisibility creeps in, that childhood sensation of dissolving, becoming transparent, unreal, but something else rises with it. Something with teeth. My wedding wasn't just a party. My voice comes out quiet, but it cuts through her theatrics like a blade through silk. Here we go again with the dramatics. I moved back here when Dad got sick. The words fall like stones between us. I postponed my promotion. I worked remotely. I drove him to every appointment while Amanda was too busy with her social media consulting. Mom waves her hand. Your sister has a very demanding career. I gave you and Dad $16,000. My voice grows steadier with each truth. $16,000 that I'd saved for my wedding. Amanda wouldn't spare a dime. After everything we've done for you? What exactly have you done? I straighten, release my death grip on the couch. Besides, compare me to Amanda my entire life? Besides, show up to every soccer game she played while missing my honor society induction? Besides, choosing her birthday brunch over my wedding? You're being melodramatic, as usual. Mom's voice turns sharp. Your father is devastated by your behavior, and Amanda says you've always been jealous of her. A strange calm washes over me. Like stepping into the eye of a storm, everything's suddenly clear and quiet. I see the pattern laid bare, the guilt trips, the gaslighting, the constant deflection. I'm not asking for special treatment. I walk to my front door, rest my hand on the knob. just equal treatment. And until you can acknowledge what you did, what you've been doing my whole life, we have nothing more to discuss. Claire Elizabeth Morgan, you will not dismiss me. Yes, I will. I open the door. Not with a dramatic swing, but with the quiet determination I learned from years of being the responsible one, the reliable one, the invisible one. Goodbye, Mom. She stands there, mouth opening and closing like a fish suddenly finding itself on dry land. Then her face hardens into familiar lines of disapproval. You'll regret this. When you have children of your own, you'll understand what you've done to this family. The door closes behind her with a soft click. My hands don't shake, my eyes stay dry. The fog of invisibility has burned away in the sunlight of truth. My phone rings. Amanda's name lights up the screen, her contact photo showing her perfect smile, her perfect life, the life that has cost me so much of mine. I answer because old habits die hard. Hello? Claire. Her voice drips honey and arsenic. I've been thinking about everything that's happened, and I think I know how you can make things right. I wait. The silence stretches between us like a tripwire. I'm starting a business. Each word precise, calculated. A real one this time, not like my other projects. I need $30,000 to get it off the ground. My laugh startles us both. You want money from me? Now? You owe the family after everything we've done. The honey dissolves, leaving only poison. Mom and Dad sacrificed so much for your education, your wedding. My education that I paid for myself? My wedding that you all skipped? God, you're still hung up on that? It was just a party, Claire. You know what your problem is? You've always been. I press the red button on my screen, ending her sentence, ending the conversation, ending 28 years of making myself smaller to fit inside the box they built for me. The thank you cards still wait on my kitchen table. I sit down, pick up my pen, and begin writing again. But this time, my hand doesn't cramp. Each word flows freely, thanking the people who showed up, who chose to be there, who saw me even when my own family looked right through me. The afternoon sun streams through my window, warming my skin. Outside, traffic hums, birds call, life continues. And for the first time in as long as I can remember, I feel solid, real, whole. My phone buzzes again, and again, and again. I reach over, turn it face down, and keep writing my thank you notes to the people who deserve my gratitude. The people who taught me that family isn't about blood or obligation or guilt. It's about choice. And I'm finally making mine. You think I owe you $30,000? The words tumble from my lips before I can stop them. My free hand grips the kitchen counter, knuckles white against the granite. Don't be dramatic, Claire. Amanda's voice drips sugar and acid through the phone 2 hours later. After everything Mom and Dad sacrificed for you? College tuition, dance lessons, braces. She pauses, and I picture her examining her manicure the way she always does when delivering calculated blows. And let's not forget how sensitive you're being about a simple party. The familiar buzz starts in my ears, that static noise that always comes when Amanda rewrites history. My wedding wasn't a party. Whatever. The point is, I'm starting a business. A real business, not your little marketing job. And since you've been so difficult lately, Mom and Dad think it's time you contributed properly to the family. I close my eyes, remembering the lawyer's words from last week. Document everything. My phone records every poisonous word as Amanda continues. They're considering legal options, for repayment of past support. Another pause. But I told them I'd talk to you first, sister to sister. The static in my head crescendos. Legal options, of course. When guilt fails, they resort to threats. I need to think about this. My voice emerges steady, controlled, a tone I learned from years of walking on eggshells. Goodbye, Amanda. I end the call before she can respond, fingers trembling as I pull up Mark's number. 1 ring, 2. His familiar, "Hey, sweetheart," nearly breaks my composure. They want $30,000, the words spill out. Amanda says they're getting lawyers involved, for past support, for raising me. I'm calling Rachel. Mark's voice hardens. Rachel, his cousin, who happens to be a family law attorney. Don't respond to anything else from them until we talk to her. The call with Rachel comes that afternoon, An hour after the call, I was in her office. Her office smells like coffee and old books, nothing like the sterile corporate spaces where Amanda conducts her business ventures. They have no legal claim. Rachel's pen scratches across her yellow notepad. Parents are legally obligated to provide basic care and support for their children. They can't retroactively demand payment for doing what the law required them to do. My shoulders drop an inch. What about the money I already gave them? The $16,000? Rachel flips through her notes. That was a gift, not a loan. Unless they have documentation proving otherwise? I shake my head. They said they'd pay it back, but they never put it in writing. Rachel's eyes soften. Claire, I need you to understand something. This isn't about money. This is about control. The truth of her words settles in my chest like a stone. My phone buzzes. Dad's number lights up the screen. Rachel nods, and I answer on speaker. Princess. His voice wavers, nothing like his usual confident tone. We need to talk about the family situation. My heart clenches at the old nickname. He hasn't called me that since I was 12. Your mother and I, we're facing some difficulties. Medical bills, the house needs repairs. He clears his throat. We might need to stay with you and Mark. Just temporarily. The familiar weight of obligation presses against my ribs. How many times have I carried their burdens? How many times have I believed this sacrifice would finally make them see me? Rachel slides her notepad across the desk. In clear, steady handwriting, they're escalating because you're breaking free. I'll need to discuss this with Mark. My voice stays level, and I'll need everything in writing. Writing? Dad's tone sharpens. We're family, Claire. Family doesn't need contracts. Family also doesn't skip their daughter's wedding for a birthday brunch. The silence stretches between us like a rubber band about to snap. I'll text you later, I say, and end the call. Rachel hands me a tissue. I hadn't realized I was crying. That evening, Mark and I sit at our kitchen table, property listings spread before us. The renovation project we'd planned for next year suddenly feels suffocating. Too close, too accessible. The Seattle job offer is still open. Mark's hand covers mine. They'd want me to start next month. 5 states away. Far enough that dropping by unannounced would require real effort. My phone chimes. A text from Mom. Your sister needs our support right now. Why are you being so selfish? I type 6 words. I've consulted an attorney. No more money. The response comes in a barrage. First Amanda, you ungrateful little snake. Then Mom, after everything we've done for you. Dad, your mother is heartbroken. We're a team. Mark's voice anchors me as the messages pour in. Their manipulation stops now. I silence every contact except his. The quiet that follows feels like standing in the eye of a hurricane, terrifying and peaceful all at once. Sometimes I whisper, staring at the Seattle listings, the only way to be seen is to disappear. My Aunt Patricia calls an hour later. Your mother says you've abandoned them in their time of need. Her voice carries decades of family dynamics. Claire, honey, you need to be the bigger person. I've been the bigger person my whole life. The words rise from some deep, untapped well of truth. I'm done making myself small to make them comfortable. I hang up and block her number too. In the sudden silence of our kitchen, Mark pulls me close. Through the window, I watch the sun set behind the hills where my parents' house sits. Tomorrow, they'll try again. Different tactics, same goal. But tonight, in this moment of quiet revolution, I finally understand. Their power over me was always an illusion, one I chose to believe. I turn away from the window and face my husband. Call Seattle, tell them we'll take it. The rest of the evening passes in a blur of logistics and listings. But underneath the planning, a strange lightness fills my chest. Not happiness, not yet, but something closer to freedom. My phone sits silent on the counter, dark screen reflecting the kitchen lights. In its black mirror, I see the ghost of who I used to be, good daughter, the reliable backup, the endless well of support. She's gone now, and in her place stands someone stronger. Someone who finally knows her worth isn't measured in dollars or favors or sacrificed dreams. Someone who understands that sometimes love costs too much. The sun stretches long shadows across hardwood floors Mark picked for our new Portland home. 3 months of quiet mornings, predictable routines, peace. No drama, no guilt-laden phone calls, no Amanda. Until now. My parents' Mercedes pulls into our driveway, Amanda's red Audi right behind it. My stomach clenches as I watch from the kitchen window. Mark left for Seattle 2 hours ago, a business trip we'd planned for weeks. They must have known, must have waited. The doorbell chimes. I count to 10, straightening my spine the way I learned in college debate club. Whatever comes next, I won't let them see me flinch. Mother's face crumples when I open the door. Claire, sweetheart. Her voice wavers, practiced tears brightening her eyes. Dad stands behind her, mouth set in that stern but concerned expression he perfected during my teenage years. Amanda sniffles, mascara artfully smudged. Perfect casting for their little intervention. This is unexpected, I say, keeping my tone neutral. The words taste like chalk. A daughter shouldn't need an invitation to see her parents. Dad's voice carries that familiar weight of authority, of obligation. Especially when they've driven hundreds of miles to make things right. Amanda pushes past them into my foyer, uninvited. Her designer heels click against the hardwood Mark and I installed together. Nice place, she says, but her nose wrinkles like she's smelling something unpleasant, though it's a bit remote. That was the point. I leave the door open, a clear message they pretend not to see. Mother sinks onto my couch, hand pressed to her chest. The doctor says my blood pressure. She pauses for effect. Well, the stress of this family situation isn't helping. I'm sorry to hear that. The words come automatically, years of conditioning trying to take over. I push them back. Dad paces, each step deliberate. Claire, you've always been the sensible one. This distance, these accusations isn't like you. You're right. My voice stays steady. The old Claire would have accepted your excuses, would have written another check, would have smiled while you missed another milestone. Amanda's eyes narrow. She leans close as she passes me, whispers, "You still owe us." The words hit like a slap. But instead of flinching, I walk to my home office. I need to show you something. The cream folder sits ready on my desk, organized during sleepless nights when I wondered if this moment would come. Bank statements, text messages, photos. A paper trail of love offered and rejected. Mother's tears vanish when I spread the documents across my coffee table. What is this? Evidence. I point to the bank statements. $16,000 I sent you last year. Here's Amanda refusing to help when I asked her to split the cost. My finger moves to the text screenshots, and this, I tap the photo of them at Amanda's birthday brunch. This was taken the exact moment I walked down the aisle alone. You're being dramatic. Amanda rolls her eyes, but her fingers twist together in her lap. No, the word rings clear as chapel bells. I'm being honest, something this family never learned to do. After everything we've done for you, Dad's mask slips, showing the anger beneath. The sacrifices. We're conditional. I stand straighter. Every gift came with strings. Every kindness had a price tag. I won't fund Amanda's business. I won't be your financial safety net. If you want a relationship with me, it will be based on mutual respect, not obligation. You've always been so selfish, Amanda spits, desperation cracking her perfect facade. Mother collapses into genuine tears now, not the delicate ones she practiced in her mirror. Dad's face flushes dark red. None of them ask about my life here, my happiness. The promotion I mentioned in the Christmas card they never acknowledged. I walk to the door, hold it open wider. I think it's time for you to leave. Claire. Mother stands, smoothing her skirt. Don't do this. Don't throw away your family over. Over what? My wedding day? The lifetime of playing second choice? The money you took while treating me like a bank instead of a daughter? Each question hits like stones dropping into still water. You showed me exactly where I stand. I'm just finally standing somewhere else. They file out, Amanda first, then Mother clutching Dad's arm. The autumn breeze carries the scent of wood smoke and changing leaves. Behind them, my home waits clean and quiet and mine. A space where love doesn't come with conditions. The door closes with a soft click. Not a slam, not an explosion. Just the quiet sound of choosing peace over performance, truth over pretense, self-respect over suffocating love. My hands don't shake as I turn the lock. I've paid enough. The minute hand on our kitchen clock moves in steady, unhurried clicks. 6 months ago, each tick felt like a countdown to the next crisis, the next guilt-laden phone call, the next impossible demand. Now the sound blends with morning birdsong through open windows, with Mark's contented humming as he pours coffee, with the gentle rustle of spring air through our herb garden. I stretch, feeling the unfamiliar lightness in my shoulders. No tension headache, no knot of dread in my stomach anticipating Mom's daily updates about Amanda's latest crisis. Just the warm aroma of coffee and the way sunlight catches the prism hanging in our window, scattering rainbow fragments across white walls. Big plans today? Mark sets my favorite mug beside my laptop. The ceramic is warm against my palms, solid and grounding. Meeting with Susan at 10. I take a sip, letting the richness linger. My therapist suggested savoring small moments like this, building new neural pathways to replace the old tracks of anxiety. Then I thought I'd start planning our first real Christmas, just us. Mark's eyes crinkle at the corners. He knows what this means. No elaborate performances of family harmony, no walking on eggshells around Amanda's latest grievance, no carefully orchestrated gift exchanges designed to prove our worth. What are you thinking? He settles into the chair beside me, his knee brushing mine in quiet solidarity. A small tree. The vision unfolds as I speak. Those old glass ornaments we found at the vintage store, stockings by the fireplace. Maybe invite your parents and my Aunt Patricia, people who actually want to be here. People who see you, Mark adds softly. The words settle in my chest like sunshine. 6 months of therapy have taught me to sit with moments like this instead of deflecting them. Susan would be proud. I had that dream again last night. I tell him, tracing the rim of my mug. The one about the empty chairs at the wedding. But this time, they didn't feel like wounds. They felt like spaces cleared for something better to grow. Mark's hand finds mine across the table. We sit in comfortable silence, watching light play across our walls. Such a simple thing, this peaceful morning routine. Such a hard-won victory. The doorbell chimes, and for the first time in months, my pulse stays steady. No more surprise ambushes from family members wielding guilt like weapons. This is Julie from my support group, right on time for our walk. She grins when I open the door, her silver hair caught in the breeze. Ready to save the world? One scared 20, something at a time. I grab my jacket, kiss Mark goodbye, and step into the crisp morning air. The community center where we volunteer sits 4 blocks away, its brick walls weathered but welcoming. Inside, familiar faces nod as we pass. Here, everyone understands the complex journey of choosing peace over toxic family bonds. No judgment, no pressure to reconcile, just quiet support and shared wisdom. My first appointment today is with Rachel, barely 23, clutching tissues as she describes her mother's latest manipulation attempt. 6 months ago, her story would have cracked my careful defenses. Now I can sit with her pain while maintaining healthy boundaries of my own. But if I don't help them with the down payment, they'll lose the house, Rachel whispers. What kind of daughter lets that happen? A daughter who recognizes that her worth isn't measured by her bank account. The words flow naturally now, hard-earned truth rather than rehearsed wisdom. You're not responsible for fixing their financial choices. Recognition flickers in her eyes, the same awakening I felt that day in our sun-filled kitchen, saying no to Amanda's business loan demand. Rachel straightens slightly, tissues forgotten in her lap. Later that evening, Mark and I host dinner for our chosen family. Julie and her partner, 2 couples from our neighborhood, my Aunt Patricia who drove up from Eugene. Our dining room hums with genuine laughter, with conversations that flow without hidden agendas or veiled criticisms. I raise my glass, catching Mark's eye across the candlelight, to finding the courage to choose peace, even when it's the harder path. The words echo off walls that have never heard a manipulative accusation, never witnessed a guilt-fueled breakdown. This space is ours, filled only with relationships we've chosen to nurture. After our guests leave, I stand on the back porch, watching the sun paint the sky in gentle oranges and pinks. A year ago, I would have been compulsively checking my phone, bracing for the next family emergency. Now the only sound is the soft click of the door as Mark joins me, his familiar presence steady as the ground beneath my feet. Peaceful evening, he murmurs, wrapping an arm around my waist. I lean into his warmth, watching stars emerge above Portland's twinkling lights. The truth settles over me like a soft blanket. Sometimes the family you're born into teaches you what love isn't. And that lesson, painful as it is, helps you recognize what love truly is. This quiet contentment, this mutual support, this freedom to exist without constant judgment or demand. Mark's chest rises and falls against my back, our breathing synchronized in the gathering dusk. No words needed, no performances required. Just this moment, this peace, this life we're building together. This is what coming home really means.